What happens when a song becomes a movement? What happens when one man's music crosses oceans and continents? He grew up in a tiny Jamaican village. He sang to the world, and by the 1970s, his voice held hope and danger. He became a messenger, a rebel and a prophet of reggae. This is the story of the legendary Bob Marley. Robert Nesta Marley, popularly known as Bob Marley, was born on the 6th of February 1945 in a small village called 9 Mile in St. Ann Parish, Jamaica. His father, Norval Marley, was a white Jamaican of English descent, and his mother, Sadella Booker, was a young black Jamaican. Growing up poor and mixed race, Marley experienced prejudice from both sides, but he also absorbed Jamaica's rural traditions. They called it the hymns, the rhythms, the Rastafari spirit stirring through the island. In his teens, Bob and his mother moved to Kingston, settling in Trenchtown. Life was harsh. Overcrowded housing, unemployment and violence defined the streets. Yet it was here that Bob fell in love with music. The sound systems and giant mobile discos shook the alleys with ska and rhythm and blues. Marley absorbed it all. He cut his first recordings at just 16. More importantly, he found brothers in music, Bunny Livingston and Peter Tosh. Together, they began to shape a sound. By the early 1960s, they had formed the Wailers. Their harmonies, fierce and soulful, soon caught attention. They sang of the struggle, survival, and hope of their people. Their early singles, produced by Coxsone Dodd, made them local stars. But fame brought little money, and the group faced constant hardship. Still, their vision was clear. Reggae was not just entertainment, it was resistance, a voice for the voiceless. The breakthrough came in the early 1970s. Chris Blackwell of Island Records signed the Wailers, giving them international exposure. Albums like Catch a Fire in 1973 and Burnin' in 1973 reached new audiences, with tracks like Get Up, Stand Up becoming anthems of protest. When Bunny and Tosh left, Marley carried the band forward as Bob Marley and the Wailers. With Natty Dread in 1974 and Rastaman Vibration in 1976, his music climbed global charts. His dreadlocks, his faith, his defiant voice became symbols of Jamaica itself. But in Jamaica, politics were deadly. The 1970s saw violent clashes between rival parties. Marley, though not partisan, was seen as a unifying figure. In December 1976, just days before the Smile Jamaica concert, gunmen attacked his home. Marley, his wife Rita, and his manager Don Taylor were wounded. Miraculously, they survived. And 2 nights later, bandaged and limping, Marley walked on stage. He performed for nearly 90,000 people, declaring, "The people who are trying to make this world worse aren't taking a day off. How can I?" That act cemented his legend. After the attempt, Marley left Jamaica for London. Exile gave birth to reinvention. In 1977, he recorded Exodus, hailed by Time magazine as the greatest album of the 20th century. Its songs, One Love, Jamming, Three Little Birds, carried joy, resistance, and hope. From London studios, Marley's music conquered continents. He sang of Africa, of liberation, and of unity. In Zimbabwe, his music would become the soundtrack of independence. In 1978, Marley returned to Jamaica for the One Love Peace concert. On stage, he did the unthinkable. In the middle of his set, he joined the hands of Prime Minister Michael Manley and opposition leader Edward Seagar, bitter rivals whose supporters had fueled violence. For a fleeting moment, under Marley's song, unity seemed possible, and the image traveled across the world. But behind the music, illness was spreading. In 1977, doctors discovered melanoma in his toe, a rare form of skin cancer, after noticing a dark spot under his right big toenail, which he initially mistook for a soccer injury. Marley refused amputation due to his Rastafarian faith, choosing instead to treat it while continuing to perform. By 1980, his health started failing. After collapsing during a jog in Central Park, his final tour was cut short. On the 11th of May, 1981, in Miami, Bob Marley died at just 36 years old. Jamaica declared a state funeral. Tens of thousands gathered to honor their son. But Bob Marley's voice has never gone silent. His music plays at football stadiums, in homes, in protests, in weddings and funerals. His message of love, justice, and unity transcends borders and generations. He once said, "My life is only important if me can help plenty people." And he did. This was the journey of the legendary Robert Nesta Marley. He died young, but was forever immortalized through his music. Thank you for watching. If you want more powerful stories from history, subscribe and join us every week, right here.